Okay, guys. Hi. How are you guys today? What is today? Monday. Yeah, I was honestly deciding if I was like I really was not going to do a live today. I told myself that, and I talked myself right out of it. Anyways, happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Obviously, there's another case going on in Quebec with Claire Bell, so we'll be talking about that. Talking about Jack and Lily, of course, like that. But obviously, we'll say hi to you guys first. Hi, Ron. Hi, Annabelle. How are you? And then Denise is in the house. How are you? It's a crime and shame's in the house. Hi, little Miss Muffin Top. Just so you know, like within about 5 minutes ago, I was eating a blueberry muffin top. Just saying. Hi, Skyrim. How are you? Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Nurse Jenny. How are you guys? On there. So now, first, I do want to before we get into anything else, and let's see here, video file. Just quickly, we have to say, okay, even though I don't think he's in here right now, but whatever.
Happy birthday to you.
Gotta do this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to wish Kent and Citizen Sleuth a happy birthday today. And to be honest with you, that was the only reason I was going to do live. I was like feeling guilty going, well, it's Kent's birthday today and Citizen Sleuth. And Kent's always been, especially Kent on this one, has been sending me a lot of stuff, like always sending me links and stuff like that throughout this. Kent lives in Pictou area there as well. And, his business had burnt down about a week and a half ago there. And they were about to celebrate their 40th anniversary for his, I think he calls it the junkyard. Anyways, so just wanted to say happy birthday to both of you, Kent and Citizen Sleuth. So, so we're going to be talking, of course, Lily and Jack, and they've been missing since May 2nd of 2025 here. It's been crazy. It's the 16th of June already, and still no answers for that. Is it next week? This week or next week? I have to take a look. Anyways, there will be something that will come out. I'm not going to say what it is. I never asked if I could even say it, but there will be something coming out next week in regards to the case. Now, I know that Belinda said that her interview, and possibly, I'm not sure how CBC did it, but all I know is that when Belinda told me about this a couple weeks ago, they had been to her home, Justin's home, and they had interviewed like a lot of Daniel's family there, and I think possibly Malaya's mom, but don't quote me on that one because I think she couldn't quite remember if But anyways, so the news had told Belinda that Justin actually lived down the road, and that's how she actually knew that he lived down the road from Daniel. So he actually doesn't live on that property and stuff like that. Daniel's first wife has been talking on her Facebook. You talking about Christy, obviously. I don't know. I was at her Facebook literally just yesterday. Where's she talking in? Just asking. Nora, where's she talking in Facebook groups or on her own Facebook? This is so sad. Today is my birthday, the 16th. I love your show. Oh, hi, Glenda. Well, you weren't here, I think, yesterday when we were talking about birthdays, but happy birthday to you as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, gluten-free on there. Yeah, happy birthday, guys. Thanks for all the well wishes for them. I never eat any bread or dough because of gluten. Yeah, it sucks to have these things. Saw it on the YouTube video. Yeah, I'd have to see, so unless they're like literally showing like stuff like where like literally her name is showing up. So I don't know. I talking about, by chance, are you talking about Shantria Speaks on that one? Because she's usually the one that dives more into that stuff a little bit. Is that the one you're talking about? Shantria Speaks, perhaps? But anyways, other than that, just because there's like a lot of, there's always like a lot of bogus stuff out there. So, we always like to stick to the facts and have the receipts to back those up as well. So, yeah, so I'm not sure what channel that was. If you tell me what channel it was, I can go check it out, and see. But let's see. Photo with Daniel, Hawking, Daniel's secret. Why didn't he tell the police about the kids? Photo with Danielle. Shocking. Oh, so why didn't it? Yeah, probably just a bunch of clickbait shit, to be honest with you. So a lot of it is. A lot of it's AI generated, and a lot of it's bullshit. So unless there's receipts to back it up, and you can literally see Christie's name, like literally her picture in that, talking, I don't believe that stuff, because I've been watching a lot of these videos, and a lot of them use the whole clickbait, to drive in to their channel. Of course, does it bring awareness? Absolutely, on there. But anyways, do you have a lot of ads and commercials on YouTube? I don't get them because I pay it. I pay it to not have it. That's why you guys don't see any. But if you don't pay for it to have a YouTube premium, you're going to get YouTube ads. It's just a guarantee. So, and then they put them throughout the lives and everything as well. So it's really just a matter of, it's worth it to have premium and pay that money a month just so you don't have ads, because I hate ads myself. But so, yeah. So it's part of watching YouTube when you don't pay for the premium. But okay, so let's go over there now, because there's this little girl, Claire Bell, that's missing since June 14th. So I'm confused on that, because today's the 16th. It's Monday. They said since Sunday. So how is it missing since June 14th then? Anyways, last location was in Newman Boulevard, LaSalle, Quebec. And she's age 3, height 3 feet, weight 35 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, and it doesn't meet the Amber Alert criteria. Anyways, okay, now I know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about ads, AI, Henry, is because that's how YouTube makes their money. They that's how they generate their billions of dollars, is through ads. Yes, I hate gluten-free. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so we're gonna start this off. We will watch about this little girl, a couple of videos, and let's see. We'll watch this one first, I suppose, on this. So this is again about Claire Bell out of Quebec, looking for a 3-year-old. It's kind of a weird story by listening to a little bit of it.
Where is Claire Bell? It is the question the 3-year-old's family and police are desperate to answer as they ask for the public's help to find the missing child. Claire Bell is just under a meter tall. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Police say she was with a brown Chihuahua, and a dog matching its description was found dead near the junction of highways 20 and 30 around 2 p.m. Monday afternoon. Claire was last seen near her home in LaSalle around 9:45 a.m. Sunday. Then at around 3:45 p.m. that day, her mother arrived at this store about 50 kilometers west in Coteau-du-Lac. She parked her silver 2007 Ford Escape completely crooked, then told staff she had lost her daughter and didn't know where she was. The mother is still being questioned by police and has been fully cooperating. Meanwhile, authorities searched all night Sunday and continued to be massively deployed on Monday. Provincial police have fanned out all over this area, searching via helicopter, drone, ATV, canine unit. Dozens of volunteers are also helping search along Highway 20 and combing through the woods. The coordinator of the volunteers said it's a particularly tough search as a parent himself.
It's not easy. Everybody, we pray for being able to find her quickly, because it's very hot. It's been a long time since she's missing, and we would like to have a good ending, but for now, everybody is at work.
There was no Amber Alert because police say they don't have any reason to believe she was taken deliberately. Officers are asking anyone who spotted this silver 2007 Ford Escape between Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon to come forward. It has a baby on board sticker. What they're trying to figure out is what happened between the time the mother and daughter were both seen on surveillance video in LaSalle on Sunday morning and the time the mother arrived here at the store without her on Sunday afternoon. That entire time period remains a blur.
There's that one there. And then I'm just going to play another one as well. But yeah, because this one, the lady says, like, even though this one wasn't too long ago, but they say about the dog, but apparently the dog was found deceased. But it's kind of strange because we don't know any more details. So it's very strange so far about this 3-year-old that goes missing. And I don't know why they had the 14th on there, because today's clearly the 16th and it's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. That's the day that they said. So 9:45, she's, seen in LaSalle, sorry. And it's kind of like, and then her mother doesn't call her in for a couple of hours, and she's like an hour away, and I think Coda something or another. But in Coteau-du-Lac or whatever it was. But anyways, so that's kind of strange in itself, to be honest with you. So see how this story turns out. But we'll play this one again here.
2-year-old Claire Bell was last seen here at her Newman Boulevard home in LaSalle at 9:45 Sunday morning. Neighbors say last night police showed up and started searching door to door, and residents here are very worried about the little girl. While the girl was last seen in LaSalle, she was actually reported missing hours later by her mother in Coteau-du-Lac. That's about an hour west of LaSalle. Police set up a command post there after she went into a store and told someone she didn't have her child anymore. Police say she was driving a gray 2007 Ford Escape with the license plate K50FVE with a sticker that says baby on board. Police say if you saw that vehicle, to call them. There are few details about the woman's state of health, and officers are still trying to figure out the timeline of events, but say an Amber Alert was not issued because it doesn't meet the criteria. To send out the emergency alert, police need to believe a child was abducted, that their safety is in danger, and that officers have information that may help locate the child. The Sûreté du Quebec has been searching a wide area all the way to Ontario. Belle is described as 0.9 meters or 3 feet tall and 16 kilograms or 35 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes, speaks English, and was last seen wearing a white long-sleeve shirt with a pink collar, gray pants, and no shoes. She could be with her dog, a brown, long-haired Chihuahua. Police are asking residents of LaSalle and Coteau-du-Lac to check any buildings on their property, and if anyone has information about the whereabouts of the girl, to call 911 or the SQ. 3-year-old.
Okay, so, yeah, so this is a Claire Bell right here. So yeah, that's kind of strange. We'll see what happens there. But I just noticed that there's 106 people in chat, 24 likes. Please, you guys, again, never do it for the channel. Please hit the like and share for the missing and the murdered. Always do it for them, and especially for Claire here. You guys, it's really important because again, it's just one of those things that, the more people share, the more people are aware of this case. So if they're not going to issue an Amber Alert, the least we can do is just, like and share and get that attention out there for this child. I think that the Amber Alert thing really sucks ass, to be honest with you. I really wish that they would make changes to that. Now, it is strange at the moment, for the little bit of information we know, it is strange that 9:45 she's with her mother, and then, she's like, a couple hours later, she calls in and she's like an hour away. And then the dog is found dead, on some junction highway there or whatever. But that's just weird. Just by initial thoughts, it's just weird that she's literally an hour away. So what? It'll be interesting to see those details. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Support with Stefa. How are you? Yeah. I can't say it enough, and like I'm sure you guys too. Children are innocent, and when you see just beautiful little face just like this, you know, I mean, just a gorgeous little girl there, and just to know that something has happened, and hopefully it has a happy ending to this, but we'll see. We'll just have to see how it goes. Hi, Mel. How are you? Yeah. So again, if you guys could just really hit that like and the share button, like I said, these Amber Alerts, they kind of suck, really. A person, Norcraft, a person with legal custody of that child went to the business, right, located about 50 kilometers west, to report that she lost the child. Just seems a little strange, but we'll have to see how this case goes and see what happens. And hopefully there's, again, a happy ending to all of this. Yeah, that's why I hate covering it. Okay, so again, please bring awareness to this case, and then as we hear updates on that, we'll cover it as well. Hopefully it's something that's sorted out rather quickly, for sure. Okay, so went to that store, was right. Well, again, it's just, we don't know too much about this, so it'll be interesting to see what the actual timeline is, right? Because right now, the way we're hearing it is just very odd, of course. Well, has it ever stopped, to be honest, little mama? Okay? Just look at all the murdered and the missing people. Has it really stopped? In fact, it's like it hasn't even lightened the load at all, right? We got digital stuff everywhere. Everything's about digital data and stuff like that. And yet, these people that do harm to their own children and stuff like that, it's like, it's amazing to me still how many people, commit crimes knowing that digital data is their worst enemy. Hi, Kaika. How are you on there? I hope you guys are having a good Monday. Monday fun day. I think the mom lost her shiznit. Well, that's kind of where my mind is at the moment. To be honest with you, sport with Steffa. I'm not really sure. Okay, so again, Lily and Jack. Now, just quickly, I just wanted to show you a few things. So there's this wonderful lady. Her name is Brie. She's been creating like a bunch of digital, whatever you want to call them, decals, flyer things, for Jack and Lily. So I'm just going to show you some. I'm going to post these on the thing. Actually, support with Steffa. The GoFundMe for Lewis. I ended up waking up to a community strike by YouTube because they said it was showing violence and whatever the other word was. So I put in a thing for, appeal. They don't look at shit. All they do is tell you, we reviewed it, and you, no, it didn't meet the guidelines. So I had to go to YouTube training school so that it knocks it off in 3 months. It's such a joke. What a freaking joke. The shit that's all over YouTube, like all the freaking gore and shit, and I put up a GoFundMe because it has like a bloody nose. All of a sudden that's deemed as violence and blah, 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 Anyways, whatever, YouTube, you suck ass sometimes. But anyways, whatever. Missing children, Jack and Lily. She did this flyer here. So again, I'll put them to the community page after the live. She also did this one here, missing Jack and Lily. So these will be for people to grab. Okay, people to share. Yeah, that's exactly it, Steffa. What a joke, right? Like I said, the stuff that's all over YouTube, you're kidding me, right? So whatever. This is what I'm talking about with YouTube stuff, right? It's just ridiculous. And so here's another decal here. Let me just take this off the stage here. Stop screen. She did a bunch of them. 1 second here. Do. Here, I might just 1 second. Oh my goodness. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so again, Bree had made these, so you guys can screen grab, or regardless, I'm going to post them on the community page there. Just pictures to keep awareness for Lily and Jack on there. So that was really sweet that, someone spends their time, doing stuff like this. This one's really cute, isn't it? On there. That one's really cute too. So, hi P, how are you? Yeah. And by the way, this truly is not going to be a long live. I really just tomorrow night. Charmaine and I, we're gonna, so you remember Lauren. If you don't, Lauren has been on the channel a couple times, and it's Astro by Lauren. So Charmaine and I had asked Lauren if she could do our astrology charts. Okay, now saying that, it's one of those things that she said they're about an hour long. So we paid for this, by the way, right? Don't take advantage, but right. So we're paying for this. And she gave us a nice little deal. So I've never had my chart ever read myself, but I kind of do things sometimes, and I'm not going to lie. I kind of just do things just like a YOLO thing. It's not like I really need my chart read to me in a sense, because I already know who I am as a person, but I think it's interesting for sure. So it's one of those things I'm just, it's just kind of like a YOLO thing. Hey, try it, see how it goes, but I already watched your channel. And I know she already got cancers kind of pinpointed a little bit there from the little bit that I did see. So it's going to be interesting for Charmaine. So I'm going to have it so that Charmaine is read first, or her astrological chart and whatever. And I'll get Charmaine, her to do Charmaine first, and then mine second on there. So that will be very interesting. So if that's your cup of tea tomorrow, guys, then that's what's going to happen. So Lauren, the lady that was on here a couple times now, a lot of people really liked her, thought that she did a really good pegging job on Daniel and Malaya and stuff like that. So Charmaine had basically said, it was intriguing. So I was like, whatever, why not? Let's see if she'll do us both. So that's going to happen tomorrow night. It will be at 6:30 my time, because I work till 5:30 tomorrow as well. So it will be at 6:30, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, if you're in Nova Scotia, that's going to be at 10:30. I know it's late for you guys, but fortunately, us West Coasters to the East Coast side and stuff like that, different time zone altogether. But yeah, so if you guys are into that, and like I said, so, maybe you guys might ever want to get it done yourselves, then you can reach out to, say, Lauren. But come tomorrow night, watch it, see, and yeah, I just get, that stuff is kind of again, exciting to me as just something different, because I've never had it done, that way. I've had, I've gone to mediums a few times, and I've had the cards read a few times, but I always need somebody to impress me, right? Somebody that can really impress me with stuff. I've been impressed 2 times in my entire life by a medium and a medium / palm reader, whatever. 2 times I can say I was literally going, shit, get out of my head. Besides my husband, 3 times. I meant 3 times, because my husband, maybe it's because he's a Cancer, but I could let you know how females, you'll understand when I say this. Let's say you're thinking about a thought, and then all of a sudden you're thinking that thought takes you to another thought, and then that thought takes you to another thought. So my husband, well, it's like he just takes the stairs down and goes, "Stop thinking about," and I'm just like, "Get the heck out of my brain, husband." Seriously, because to me, that's like my space, to think or whatever. And so when he comes and he says something to me, I'm like, how the heck did he even know? Like literally, I started here, ended up down here about 10 steps, and he'll like literally call me out. And I'm just like, well, shit. Like, honestly, me and my husband have an amazing connection that way. Cancers, our SJA are both of our initials, same amount of letters in the first name, middle name. Obviously, Austin is his name. So it's obviously Austin for me as well. But I'm just saying, we connect. Someone just said, you know what? I'm just going to float this British man over to you and go, you've suffered enough in your lifetime, Sonny, on there. Hi, Sharon. Trent is usually and maybe out to dinner. Not even sure what that meant. Oh, you mean Kent? Happy birthday, Kent. Yeah. Happy birthday to Kent and Citizen Sleuth. Hi, Bobby. How are you? All fake news is everywhere on YouTube and a bunch of other apps. I'm done with it all. Well, that's why you only need to come here and maybe a couple other places. Okay, that's just a given. Hi, Sunny and Sharon and everyone. Hello. I really like Lauren. Yeah, she's a really nice lady. I like the fact she's very happy, bubbly, and go lucky. I like those type of personalities. She kind of laughs at a lot, and she's totally ADHD like me. Squirrel. And then, like that was actually amusing me when I would put up her, like, I'm just going down your guys' chat, and then she'd be in the midst of talking, and then she's like looking down at what I'm putting up there, and I was like, wait, I'm not trying to distract you, but it's kind of one of those things. Like, I do the same thing too. It's kind of like you're going along, and all of a sudden it's like da 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 da. Okay, so what was I? And then you go back to what you're talking about or whatever. Half the time though, I lose my train of thought. All of a sudden I'll look somewhere to chat, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what did I say? I'm too tired. It's honestly, when I do that, it's because I'm just tired. I don't get a lot of sleep on any given day. I can't wait to see you, but I can't wait to see that either. Sunny, I sent you a Facebook message. Check it after the live. Just make me, Steffa. All right, I will. Only because I love you. I shared the link you posted earlier to make peeps aware of this. Thank you so much. Again, in it for the sincerest reasons, or sincerest reasons ever. On this again, it's not about which reminds me, shoot. Now I was gonna say it's not about donations, but then I happened to log into my PayPal today. Ooh, I gotta go find my PayPal because I went to go log in my PayPal today, to send Lauren the money. And all of a sudden I was like, wait, why is there $40 in my PayPal account? And so Canadian S, a good friend of mine from a long time ago. I seen $20 in there from her. So just give me a second because, when I see something like that, then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even notice these. And one was from the 9th, people. But that's because I don't need to log into my PayPal too often. It's because like usually people either super chat or use a coffee app or whatever like that, right? So I hadn't even dawned on me to log into my PayPal at all, besides because I had to today. So just give me a second because I cannot not thank people. That would be rude. Okay, so let's see here. I want to thank Apple Services for taking out $19.03 out of my account. Thank you so much, Apple. But so Canadian S, thank you so much. I'm not going to say the person's last name, but there was a Stephen, obviously spelled like my husband's name. Doesn't have the cool Austin ring to it. But anyways, thank you, Stephen, so much. That was on June 9th. And then, oh my God, see, this one on June 1st. They must think I'm a horrible person. We'll say the name is Lisa. Lisa will know who she is. And so Lisa, thank you so much. That was, you guys, that's 16 days ago. I totally forgot about my PayPal because I haven't had to use it in a while. Everything I do is, even when I was ordering from Temu Temu was from PayPal, but I haven't ordered from Temu in a few weeks on there. Anyways, so just want to say, Canadian ass, Stephen, Lisa, thank you so much. My bad. Please, hopefully you'll see this live and not think I'm a rude ass. Okay. Shame on those fakers. Who's a faker? Wasn't their family interview soon? Yeah, you'll probably start seeing, maybe might see one come out tomorrow, but for Wednesday, I do know, according to Belinda, I sent 3 mediums and 2. Oh, I seen 3 mediums and 2 nailed it. One was from New York, not Teresa Caputo, was it? She is amazing. And one from Pictou, Alan, and he nailed it more than she did. Can I tell you this? What's that guy's name? Matt Fraser? Okay, so Matt Fraser was over $1,000, I believe. And don't forget, I'm Canadian, talking US. And his mom was like, well, first of all, there was no space for him, but his mom could do it. And I think his mom was $250 US. And I just want to say, Matt Fraser, although your mom is very lovely, I honestly thought that she really sucked at the reading that I got from her, to be honest with you. I mean, it was one of those things that there was nothing revelational about it whatsoever. I mean, it was almost like chatting with someone, like a friend, and them not even touching on anything related to what like that was a good waste of $250 on your mother. Sorry, she ain't no gifted. She's not gifted. So in my head I was like, well, I don't know. Like maybe the son's got. I know he said his mom is not so much of a medium like him, but that she's, I don't know, whatever. All I know is that was a waste of damn $250. I thought I would splurge for once, right? Just splurge and be like, I'm gonna get a reading from Matt's mom, and if she's she's supposed to be too. Yes, sucked. It just really, my expectation was gonna be like good. I mean, I've been read better by someone that charges like $30. Okay, I was sending everyone. Sorry, Matt. Sorry for dissing your mama, but her reading sucked. That was a waste of my 250 Canadian dollars to your 300, whatever it turned out to be on there. Hoping and praying for babies to be found ASAP. Absolutely. I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was in nursing school in my 30s. It would have been great to have been medicated as a child. Stefan. Hook me up, doc. Give me some of those drugs. Give me some of that good stuff. Yeah, pray day and night for the 2 kids. Absolutely. Jack and Lily. I can't believe, like I said, we're sitting here at June 16th. This happened May 2nd. It honestly feels like it's only been a couple of weeks, like 3 max. Yeah, for that. The Matt on TV. The guy that you swear is gay, but he's not. He's married. That guy. I love Matt Fraser. He does group readings on his website. Yeah, I think I joined a couple during the COVID days there. Praying for Lily and Jack. Absolutely. Let's see here. Like, you guys, like, just saying, like, you guys obviously know there's no freaking any update for that whatsoever, right? Like, we should start seeing some stuff come out in the news. Definitely. HIPAA prayers for all the children missing. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like and the share button, guys. Sharon, hey, hippie. I seen Alan at a group on social, Scotia, Leo, and I always hate this word. It reminds me of like anguish, Antigonish, and he was amazing, spot on, perfect. See, that's the ones I like to see, where they literally just, you feel like like they got the gift, that they got the gift, right? I hate generalized stuff. So again, for anyone that's coming in, Charmaine and I on tomorrow night's live, we'll be getting read by Astro by Lauren. On there, you guys can check it out. And I've never had one. Has anyone had their charts read in here? I know that Vanessa comes in here and she says, and she does charts, she said, but has anyone ever, like, you know, had their charts done? It's one thing I never even thought about, to be honest with you. Hi, everyone. One new child missing in Canada, one new one here in the U.S. What's going on? Well, honestly, when isn't there? It was close. Okay. All right. Well, as long as it was close. It's not like trying to say sip to nick tick tack tea, whatever that name is. I can never pronounce that for the life of me. If you ever get a chance, James Van Prague. I know who James Von Prague is. Yeah. He's a good man. I like John Edward. I like Teresa Caputo, but I like Tyler Henry, John Edward, and James Von Prague, like you said. You know, somebody really. I know that on TV it's cut and edited and stuff, but to me, you can always feel like the sincerity. You know, like the real sincerity coming through people, versus the, you know, kind of like the Sylvia Brown. Don't like her. Actually, like I used to, but then she just really got too big for her britches. My daughter's had her done, and even at 3, it was spot on. Oh, my daughter's dad had hers done, and even at 3, it was spot on there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be curious with Lauren, like, well, like what she even says, to be honest with you. You know, we had to send like our birth date, location of birth, obviously, the time. So yeah, time, day, you know, birth date type of thing. So I was born July 3rd. Apparently, I thought it was 2:43, but my twin told me it was 2:39. 2:39, because she would have been 2:29. So anyway, so I was 4 minutes out. But anyway, so yeah, so mine's July 3rd, 1969, born in Vancouver, British Columbia. And so yeah, so we'll see what all comes of that. Too many predators on the loose, unfortunately. Absolutely. It's also known as Indian. Oh yeah, Indian Brook Res. Okay, because that's when I was looking on Google Maps, like earlier in this case. Yeah, I was looking for the different reservations there, based on what it said that they were out of or whatever. So Indian Brook was the one I remember for sure. Antigonish. Antigonish. It sounds like, what are those things called? Ganache. That word ganache. I only ever seen that in a game, and then I bought in some before now. But that's what it reminds me of a little bit. Well, first of all, it reminds me of like almost like anguish. Whenever I see that word, it does not make me happy. It looks like I'm anti-anguishing or something like that. I don't know why. It's just one of those words that, you know, it doesn't. It's not like the word sunny. I'll tell you that much. I had a reading with a white witch. She was really good. Never even heard of a white witch. I guess she's better than the black witch, eh? Never ever heard of that. White witch. I guess that's the better witch than the black witch. We haven't paid as much attention towards missing children until Lily and Jack here in Canada. Yeah, you know. And it's sad. So maybe, well, hopefully out of all this, though, you know, it makes people more aware to hit that share button and the like button whenever they see someone that's missing and stuff like that, you know. I mean, we can't fix the world, but we can sure do our little parts of things. I truly wish I had a car. Yawn. In Nova Scotia, when I go, I would be searching. I think these babies all day, every day. I would be 20 minutes away. Absolutely. You know, this case really hurts my brain. It really does. James gave me a reading one night in his chat online. You guys are going to have to forgive me. I didn't sleep well last night at all. So if my yawn's coming in, just before my birthday, and spirit came with a spirit came with my dad, was tear jerking to say the least. You know what? Like I said, there is these people out there, some that might not be watching right now, but some that might. You know, I could never have a closed mind. In fact, I just find it's like so weird that people are like, you know what, I'm not into that shit. You know, though, and yet this is kind of probably what gets me too. Is how is it that people can believe in the Bible and believe in a God, and yet it's so far fetched to believe in spirits and angels, but people are gonna believe their Bible and believe their God, and yet they act like the spirit world or something can't exist. I find that so ironic about that, right? It just like, for instance, there was a friend, right? Right, goes to church and all that shit, and this type of stuff is considered like evil, and then you think to yourself, really? So you believe in somebody that you don't ever see, and you have no clue what truly, say, God is about or what God looks like. So you believe in all that stuff, but yet you think that this is like evil witchcraft or something like that. So who is it that put all these people down on earth then? Is it God? Because if it's not God, is there a separate God then that somehow landed all these people on earth that all of a sudden so don't go hating on me either. I ain't no Christian. I ain't no anything really. I just follow the Buddha way, you know. But I don't even know. I know that the other side exists. I know that for a fact. But I just find it hypocritical that people can believe in nothing. Do you guys remember the movie A Miracle on 34th Street, the Christmas movie? And it's just like, again, people are willing to believe this, but they're not willing to believe that. And I just find it ironic myself. So I'm the type of person that's just like YOLO. Hey, if someone's gifted, you know, and they can tell you something, you know, like the people that are the naysayers, you know, I wish that they would have like one of these good people that like a truly good reader, and then go bam in your face. Now tell me that's not real type of thing. Instead of people just being so close minded, I just prefer to have a open mind for anything, you know, and just be open about whatever. I never ever want to close doors and go, nope, that could never happen. No, that's not real. That's this. I went to see Sylvia Brown years ago. She didn't say much that could be considered spectacular. She basically told people about their ailments. Yeah, Sylvia Brown got old to me, really, honestly. She just really became um, full of herself. Daniel seems to be quiet, suspicious by his body language, the way he acts, and how he is so quick to jump before authorities to ask him to do anything weird, honestly. Yeah, we'll get into talking about that in just a few minutes. I'm probably running behind here. Bell search address, 62 Chem St. Emmanuel. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Nora. Daniels fakes his feelings. Fake. We'll see. Could be. No white witch. You definitely don't want Outlander. Outlander then. No witch. Like I said, you know, I kind of don't really know much about all that stuff, to be honest with you. I just kind of do my stuff. And then every now and again, like I said, in my life, I've gone to see a medium and a whatever. And I've watched tons of shows on that stuff. Hey, I was wondering if anyone has the post with the letter from Daniel. I have not heard of this yet. What letter? If anyone has the post with the letter from Daniel. Alberta, yeah. Hi, Kim Mitchell. I'm an atheist. That's pretty much what I am. I just, you know, it's kind of like my mom sent us to church for cookies to get us out of her hair. And actually, what we wanted was the cookies out of it, to be honest. But honestly, my mom, she just rated us up as, I think she said Protestant. Either way, I'm just lived my Buddha way. I'm just be good person in life, you know. Reminder to the world that you're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun doesn't shine every day. We are all spirit, So yeah, the Bible literally talks about spirits and entities. I wonder what church they went to. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Hold on. Just wanted to show some love real quick. Thank you all for your efforts and hard work for the victims. Hi, Evil. Hi, CJ. Yeah. So that was his channel, you guys, when I was showing you the other night. CJ's channel that someone was trolling underneath. It's a crime and shame name. So don't forget, if you ever come across it, just report. Click on it to see where that channel takes you and just report. Anyways, thank you for coming over, CJ, and you as well. Really great guy. I talked to him a little bit during the was it Sebastian Rogers? Yeah. Even though, hold on, Riley Strain as well. You were covering as well on there. But thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by. There is a fake out there, but James Edward, when did he leave that? Am I that far behind? Oh, that was 4 minutes ago. Not too bad. You guys, I'm going to quickly sending you hugs and energy. You sending me hugs and energy? Okay. Oh, no, we're not too bad. Hi, Jesus. We were just talking about God. Welcome in, Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel. Number 68. Come on, hit the light. Yeah. Okay. So what is there to talk about today? Honestly, you know what? I have to go to the bathroom. That's what I need to do right now. So let me quickly, you guys put stuff in chat and, to anything in the chat about Jack and Lily case. And I'm just going to play the tribute video while I give the toilet a drink. Okay, fair enough. That sounds really good. And don't forget to hit that like and the share button. And let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. I kept thinking it's in here, but I got to go to my other screen. Video file. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here it is. So I'll be right back.
A little girl and a boy went missing one day. It was on Friday morning, the 2nd of May. People went searching in the woods there outside for 2 little children named Lily and Jack. The girl was just 6 years, the boy he was 4. While others were sleeping, they walked out the door. As time it went by and turned into day, no sign of those children, the news it did say. Where's Lily and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family. Not a trace or a sound from Lily or Jack, who walked out the door and they never came back. Lansdowne Station, it was their home. In Nova Scotia, there they did roam. Let's not forget them and let us pray for those 2 little children still missing today. Where's Lily and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family. Not a trace or a sound from Lily or Jack, who walked out the door and they never came back. Who walked out the door and they never came back.
Okay, let's see here. Thank you. Okay, so thank you guys. So 1 second here. guess we'll take that down. Well, I'm just going to remove a couple things from studio here. Remove. Yeah, that was a gentleman. So I just wanted to do something special for that gentleman. It's kind of like paying it forward. He made a special song. I put wanted to do a little tribute awareness video for Lily and Jack, which it's single by itself in the videos. Again, just to bring awareness and just do my own special thing. But I wanted to do something special, for him because he had made this song. So I wanted to use that. So let's see here. Present. Let me just quickly read your comments. So he says, Trippy says, do we have any copies of the messages from the Brooks family? Well, the only thing that I saw was what somebody had sent me. Someone will break where these kids in rescue. Well, I think that there's something that's going to come out next week. I think next week it is. That's probably going to make you go, to be honest with you. I saw one that was whack, but anymore besides that made no more sense whatsoever. Somebody definitely, well, absolutely. Godspeed, the truth and the upper power, whatever one believes. Absolutely. I mean, we can take a look at these, right? Because like there's really, like, besides keeping awareness to the case, there really isn't, like, I don't have anything set on my mind today. Because some days it's just like, oh, okay, gotta get the live ready, gotta talk about this and this and this. Today's not really one of those days too much, really, to be honest with you. I think it's just because I am tired. And sometimes it's like possibly sometimes pushed myself a little too much. But let's just read some of these. All the ones that had the Brooks. Now that looks like the last one though. So this is a point where I'm her aunt. You don't know what's going on. So keep your negativity to yourself. That's Selena Brooks saying that. Okay, so that one there. I'm just gonna go through the ones that actually had the names, like where they were saying that they were family. Well, Selena Brooks is family. Image file. I'm just gonna bring up the ones that I do have as I was going through them. It probably started. Well, let me go this way. Okay. So this twin mom says, I don't have to read anything. I'm family. He's not allowed to even see Meadow without supervision. Ask yourselves why is that? You are all saying her, but she was removed from the home if they would take Meadow. But then from Logan, we heard that she didn't have to go. It was Meadow that they didn't want, that CPS didn't want there, because obviously the protection. So again, this will be your call will only be this RCMP. You don't have to give name your tribe. Your call will be only RCMP. No, you or you don't have to give name your choice. Oh yeah, what are you talking about? Like an anonymous tip or something? Is that what you're talking about? So anyways, so I'm just kind of going to go through these. Kick them off, remove. I was just grabbing the ones that had anything to do with them talking. Let's see here. What's this one say? Oh, no, we don't. Wrong one. That was from something totally different. Nope. Remove. Okay, hold on. Image file. Let's see. I wonder if Kent's getting a buzz on. I wonder if Kent's getting a little partier tonight. Let's see. What does this one say? She didn't. He was abusive. He putting himself out there. And that one, usually the one who did it. Anyone ever heard of just a basic English sentence out there? She didn't. He was abusive. He putting himself out there, and that usually the one who did it. On point English right there. She can't go. They're not allowed around each other. He didn't pass the polygraph test. Well, I mean, I did send Selena Brooks a message, and I said 2 things, if you don't mind, because I just like to put the facts out there. You said he didn't pass a polygraph. How would you know? And you said he was gone for, you guys said he was gone for 3 hours. How would you know? Right? Now, in saying that, there could be some truth there. Maybe not so much about the polygraph, because obviously, do you honestly think Braggadocious is going to go around telling people he failed a polygraph when he's clearly going around telling people he passed a polygraph? You know, that's typing out of a cell phone. My typing is appalling. Just trying to see. Okay, so there's that one. I just pulled the ones that actually had, like, people that said that they're family. Remove. Image file. Let's see here. So I think we're on this one. Okay, so this is the one. She is the bio mom. Yes, she also was a abused, obviously, woman for 2 years everywhere he went. So he had to go everywhere she wanted. So she had to go everywhere she wanted to go. He went. I swear to God. Sorry, Jen, but were you drinking when you wrote this shit? Swear to God. Like, that's horrible. Maybe you guys were cool in that. Maybe she's doing that phone thing and it's totally messing up the words. Maybe you guys were cool in that she could never have time to be away. She was sleeping with me when the children went missing. Obviously, that's weird in itself. So probably isn't the right sentence there. Sleeping with Daniel when the children went missing. He left knowing the police were coming, and he stayed away for 3 hours. Yeah. So what do you guys think about this 3 hours? Do you think that there possibly could be any truth to 3 hours? What do you guys think? In 1 second. 1 second. But just quickly, tell me what you guys think. Do you think there could be any truth to like 3 hours, considering it's family? What did he do in those 3 hours? The police don't even know where he went for those 3 hours. So now maybe you guys go stop thinking it's her and maybe concentrate a little bit more on him. Well, we are now. She did have a visual for her children. What the heck does that even mean? She did have a visual for her children. I think I was supposed to say vigil. A vigil. Okay, we'll decipher this. A vigil for her children. It just wasn't told about to everyone for reasons. A lot has to be protected because she does have a child with him still. He can't see his child even with supervision right now. So try to think about that, basically. Well, yeah, so 1 second. Yeah, so was he? Well, we don't know. He says 10 minutes. Right? But the bottom line is that we just don't know the truth, because unless Ali is giving us a timeline, anything that's being said is kind of like the Sebastian Rogers case, right? The best timeline that we have is based on the mother who was with Sebastian and the last person with Sebastian that went missing. So it can only be her truth. Just like Daniel, right? No matter how many times he can say something, they're still his words, regardless, but we don't know what's fiction and what's truth. We don't know what to believe or not to believe sometimes, because we're talking about 2 kids missing here, right? And I totally believe myself that this is family, that this is family involvement. But I don't believe that it's Malaya and Daniel together. I think it's one or the other. And the reason why I would say that is because this is not the scenario you would see of 2 people that concocted a lie and then one leaves the home. I don't believe this is to create some, distraction of let's play like these type of games. I don't believe it's that at all. I believe it's either Malaya or Daniel. And after thinking about it more, like I said, I'm flip-flopping like a fish. It's very rare that I flip-flop. Usually when I'm kind of, have something, it's usually what it's going to be, right? But this one makes me flip-flop, and it's because that regardless, 2 of them are still lying. That's still the bottom line of it. When Malaya gave that video or that interview, again, there was that article that we read yesterday by a viewer, and it had, like anyone that's ever been in an abusive relationship and a controlling relationship and stuff like that, to me understands that, like that type of thought process, meaning, being like, for instance, I'll just give you, for instance, for myself, when I was with Dion, the first guy I was with from 15 years old to 26, right? One of the first, I remember, because we were in school, of course, like high school, I remember us walking across the field, and I remember saying some sort of sarcastic remark a little bit. It was just meant to be a funny. Next thing I know, he literally did a fucking kick swirl at me, but he missed. And I said to him, wait a second, you literally tried to kick me. And he's like, and then he said, well, that's because like you were being sarcastic. And I was like, yeah, but it was just a joke. But I'm like, but you literally actually tried to kick me, like a spin kick. So I told him whatever, and I went home, right? Which is about 2 minutes away. And we lived right near each other, like a couple block over type of thing. Across the field, all we had to do. I lived at this side of the field, he lived at the other side of the field, and whatever. So I went home, and was like, I ain't putting up with that. Well, that was a lie, wasn't it? So he had called, right, from the Mac store, and he's just like, basically, I'm sorry, come see me, right? Now, I was so stupid and schmitten that I was like, after finally listening to him beg for about a half an hour, I was like, fine, right? Ended up being with that loser for like 11 years, abusive as heck and stuff like that. But I remember this one particular day, like, so I've always been big boobed. Okay, I'll just say that. When I was 15 to 16, I kind of just went to like Mount St. Helens there from the Abraham Flatlands. And so I never dressed like a skank or anything like that. Never. I always kind of wore my same thing I kind of wear today. I wore, my track type pants or yoga pants type thing. I always wore just t-shirts, stuff like that. But I never dressed like skanky or anything. But anyways, so this one day I say I'm going to go out with some friends, right? Never really do it, whatever. And so basically, he said to me like, well, if you're going to go out today, just remember that, because I'm going to give you payback. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I never freaking go out. I just want to go out for a couple of drinks with my friends from work, but that's what he would do. Or he'd say, are you like, really, you're going to wear that shirt? And I'd look down at a shirt like this, and I'd be like, yeah, what do you mean? And he'd be going, oh, you're just trying to show your whatever off, right? Anyways, very, very abusive relationship. And again, if he didn't like something I said, maybe a fork would come flying at me, stuff like that, and I would never ever tell any of my family about the abuse going on, by the way. But when we were listening to that article by the viewer, again, I've been around people myself, and I'm sure some of you have too with this. Like my second ex-husband that I was with that's the father of our son, Matthew. I was with him for 17 years. Okay. So it's not like I'm this hoe. Okay. Just so you know, 11 years, 17 years. And I've been with my third husband for 10 years. Okay. It's not like I wanted to ever be married 3 times, but I don't want to be abused either, So in saying that, it's kind of like my ex-husband was a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? And so Daniel could very well be, being that hero, because everyone knows by his messages that it's totally about how great and awesome he is, and basically what a pile of shit Malaya is. I mean, if you want to just break it down clear and simple, it's let me build myself up and tear her down. But wait, I'm not saying this because, basically to hurt Malaya. I'm just a truthologist. I'm just telling the truth. But, the simplest line to usually most of these cases is the straightest line. And that means, of course, that usually there's always a very consistent thing that happens in cases like this. And when either there is or you feel like there's parent involvement. And so if I think about the side for Malaya being the one that this weirdness happened, and she just left and all this stuff, there's more twisting of the story to get to something that's very unlikely to happen. And what's very unlikely to happen is that these children are being hidden. It is more unlikely for that to happen and it's more likely the fact that a parent does something to the children, hypothetically, allegedly, out there, and go down that typical straight path of usually how these cases are. So hidden is honestly a huge stretch. Okay, it truly is. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, these messages are lining up in a sense, right? As Sloan Bella had laid it out. Okay, these messages are making sense. But then truly, the article that we read yesterday, which is a very normal, controlling relationship that a lot of people go through. A lot of people go through those, okay? And so here he is trying to look like the hero. So meaning that to think about it in the way that we were reading it from the viewer yesterday is probably the most logical line of thinking, to be honest with you, is that he could have easily manipulated and be manipulating the whole situation and just an absolute liar. Why? Right? Because to lose control, to be in control, that he's using those interviews to basically say, to give out this message to Malaya, it's like, his little, whatever sonar, little tentacles coming out there and stuff like that. And so when you look at all those messages that he did, it's like I said, it's how great, all this, I passed, I did this, I want this, I want tests, I want all this. And he could totally be, and we've even said it since the start, could be totally playing a lot of us for idiots. And when really, he's a freaking narcissist. And he, I can see Daniel, I can see the situation because it's happened with me, and I'm sure it's happened with some of you guys, is that men, when they feel like they're losing control, Like, especially if they're insecure and they think that they got some beauty queen, for a girlfriend or for a wife. My ex-husband, that's the way he thought of it. Like, I remember my ex-husband saying to me, like, I can't believe that you chose me. And I don't think of it that way because I'm not insecure like that. So I don't think to go, oh, well, that's what he's thinking, obviously. I mean, obviously it is. But I would never think to myself to say, well, like, I'm just so blessed to be with you and you're, da 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 da, as if somehow he's this way better person than I am, whereas my ex-husband would say that. And he had this own internal issues of insecurities and lack of confidence that would make him say something like that. And because I would always sit there and be that one that was like, no, like, we love each other because we love what we see in each other. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're blessed to be with me. But that's how he thought of it. And so he had this always built up in his head. So when the kind of like the divorce, the crumble started happening in our marriage, he's like, yeah, that's right. Get off your fucking horse. I'm like, well, what fucking horse was I on? Because I didn't put myself on a freaking pedestal or horse. You put me on that. I never asked for it. So I can relate to that entire line because usually the line of least resistance, which is that one, is usually the truth. More so than when you have to go like this and then to the hidden part, which isn't very likely, to be honest. It's not. Okay, I'm going to go back to your guys' messages. Let's do this. Can we get some thumbs up? Yes, we can. Come on. Let's do it. Get those thumbs up. Do it for the sake of the children, the missing and the murdered. Okay, he was pretty messed up in some pics. Where'd you guys? I watched a channel and the ex-wife girlfriend said Daniel had a temper, controlling and meth problem. Yeah, I gotta say this and I'll keep saying this over and over. Unless somebody has receipts to back that crap up, it is nothing. It means nothing. So unless you literally see a post by Christy Tucker, okay, unless you literally see a post by her that says that, right, that is like a receipt from a Facebook, you guys can't believe the shit that's out there. Because people just keep adding shit. Then you guys get all confused because you don't know what to believe and you believe this and you believe that. Unless there's receipts to back it up, you don't believe shit. Okay? Do not take that as fact at all. So that is not true. One video said he was controlling. Really? Because if you go over to Dee Dee's channel, you'll see a lady posting about how Daniel's ex said he was an amazing partner and blah, blah, blah. Show me the receipts to that. Right? Was there a party or gathering on? No. Not no. I mean, according to Daniel, no, but I mean, the kids were there or spotted in New Glasgow on the 1st. So was there maybe a few people over? We don't know. Maybe there was for a barbecue in the afternoon or something like that, or a cookout. Who knows? But as far as we know, no. He's pretty messed up in his pics. Not dumpy pot high. His eyes are pretty messed up. He does have eyes like a Satan on some of those pics. His eyes. Okay, I'm very much of an eye person, and I don't like his eyes. If I was just to go by his eyes and I didn't know anything about his personality, I would instantly look at his eyes and go, "You're up to no good." Some people, you look at them and they look like they're freaking the devil, like the devil reincarnated. But with Daniel, I'll just say with Daniel, if I was just to go by the picture alone, and I wish that I would have just looked at his face alone first. But I always stare into the eyes because the eyes are the gateway to the soul of somebody. So when I look at somebody's eyes, either I see softness and I see, like a very sweet person in there and stuff like that. When I look at Daniel, I don't see that. What I see is some people I'll go, no, like you're a badass, like you're evil. But with Daniel, it's more that feeling of, how do I would say that? It's just more that feeling of there's something that's not right about you. Like there's something Like, you're not this wholesome goody two shoes at all. There's something about him that's I would consider not good, but I don't know how deep that would go. It's just when I look. There's some people you look at them and you go, you're clear evil. But he's one of those ones that go, there's something about you, dude. I can tell by your eyes there's something in there. And it would probably be more like, I can't really equate it to anything, to be honest with you. It's just a look that I kind of know when I see it, that I just think you're a stinker, right? There's a reason why I'm eyeing you and not thinking that you're this wonderful person. So that's how I feel about it when I look at Daniel's eyes. Because to me, the eyes tell, pretty much everything about somebody. Just stare into the eyes. They always say that if you have eyes where you can see the white, I remember watching that one time on a documentary, that if you have eyes where you can see the white part, that you're typically like a serial killer. A lot of those people have freaking, whack jobs. Rather, if there was a party or not, they still could have partied, just the two of them. I believe in Sloan Bella's prediction. Makes me sense and I'm a strong believer in Sloan Bella's prediction to make sense. You know what? I was there the other day. I'm leaning more on the Daniel's a full of shit person now, to be honest with you. That's where I'm at this moment. Next week I might be back on Malaya's side, but it's just that if I look at both ways, in a sense, now that the viewer kind of laid it out in a nice and neat type of thing, because as soon as I read it within the first few sentences, I knew exactly what the rest of it was going to say, and I was just like, this is very true. From an abusive, controlling person that's been in these relationships and stuff like that, it could make sense that the reason why some of this other stuff isn't making sense is because it doesn't. And it could make sense about her interview as well. Because again, I can't see for the life of me a mother where her daughter comes in a couple times and she doesn't even hear her at all. And yet he does, right? So he sees Lily come in, he hears Jack in the kitchen, and you're going to tell me that a mother with a baby in the bed is so oblivious to freaking sleeping at that moment? She ain't out no light. She was up at 6 o'clock in the morning, texting, and has the stuff from the school to prove it. Maybe it was actually Daniel that was the one doing the texting, for all we know. We don't know. I mean, it's easy to go to your partner's phone and use, and then use that and do it yourself. But I think that there's the reason why that oddness is there is because that could make possible sense for sure. That, I think that's why, if I'm thinking about it from this angle, that's why Malaya gave such a rotten interview, is because she was asked to say, or Daniel had said, we'll say this, we'll say that type of thing. Because clearly he's taking control, like, oh my God, Lily and Jack, like I said, the hero. Let me, what? I'm just going to and what does he say there too? Not only in his words, but but he says that, basically Malaya was there picking her nose, type of thing, wasn't doing anything. So he's laid out this whole thing himself of how he's been doing all this. But I'm telling you guys, the key here is the fact of Malaya leaving. That is that key point of this whole thing and why Malaya left, right? And it does make sense to me that Malaya had an odd interview because she knew that something wasn't right about this whole bullshit story, but she was kind of going along with it, probably because didn't really know what the fuck was going on besides her 2 children are missing and stuff like that. So I can see that. And I can see that she comes out of the briefing and just totally leaves his ass. Because he said that she gave him, that she couldn't even look at him. And there's only a couple reasons when somebody won't even look at you. So you're telling me this person that loves you can no longer look at you? Why? Her family's accusing him of having something to do with it. That to me is why Malaya left, when I put it into perspective, because that makes the most logical sense to me if I was looking at why Daniel, why it would be Malaya, or why it would look if it was Daniel. So it makes more sense to me, and it's more along the logical path, to be honest. Wendy, what did Wendy say? Oh, I think I already read that one. Right. I mean, heck, we don't really know what's going on. Charmaine thinks it's an abduction, right? She thinks that's more of the reality as an abduction. Now, most times me and Charmaine will agree on stuff. This one, I'm not seeing an abduction at all. Whether it's a friend or foe, I'm not seeing that at all. I'm seeing this as, dad or a mother. There's a video that postulates the meeting that way. What the heck word is postulates? When have I ever used that word in my entire life of existence? Never. The meeting on May 1st was the handoff of the kids. Oh, okay. One of those freaking probably AI generated bullshit videos, to be honest with you, Nor, honestly, most of those videos are adding shit into it. The videos that aren't even true. And this whole AI thing sucks, and creators suck that actually do that shit. But please, right? Nor a lot of fake videos. So yeah, she could have the safety plan with her mom. But the thing is, like I said, we're getting to a point of, what makes more logical sense on this one. And again, you guys have your own thoughts. Totally keep them all you want, because again, we're just here to share information and give our thoughts. And I really think that article that was written by the viewer was a real darn good example of what probably ended up playing out that day. Possibly, right? That would mean Daniel's a big ass liar, but is that going to go against the messages? Really? Not really, right? Either he's totally full of shit, or he's totally telling the truth, for the most part. She could have outside plan. So again, I'm just trying to look at this realistically, as always. The path of least resistance is usually a path that's truly happened, versus the one that you have to go, out more on the limb. It is extreme. Okay, so whenever these type of cases happen, everyone always goes to, one of the main things everyone always goes to is trafficking. That's one of the most things that people instantly go to. It is mostly the least likely scenario, but for some reason, people always have it in their head that it's trafficking. So same thing with the kids being hidden, or say maybe it went wrong and it was never supposed to go that way. Could be true. Chances of them being hidden isn't really very likely. Meaning it's not a very likely scenario. It's plausible, but it's not likely. If we were to take that, perhaps Daniel, hypothetically, allegedly, did something to the children, perhaps, hypothetically, right? That's a more logical way of thinking, because that's not out of the realm of reality. That's in the realm of reality if you base it on the cases that are out there, which are very consistent to, putting them in suitcases, trying to hide them, weird sick shit like that, so I get it. But it's more realistic that a parent did something to the children versus that they handed them off to another party, and that somehow at this point that the police haven't found that out yet. Right? I don't think that they're on no boat sailing across the ocean. Yeah. Yeah. Again, theories should be based on facts. Theories should really be based on facts. You take the information of facts and you base your theory around the facts, right? That's the only thing this channel ever tries to promote, not try to throw in these bullshit things into videos and try to get people to believe that this happened. Enigma's video was a pure example of that. It was something that, sure, it sounded good as a theory, but it was portrayed as being factual. Little yip cup. Little yip, yip, yip. There's no motive to hide the kids. Well, there really isn't, if you look at it. There really isn't a motive to hide the kids. Now, is there a motive of a jealous man to do something? You know, type of thing? That's normal. But there really isn't a motive to hide the kids because the kid, like, meaning someone can look at it about Meadow, but honestly, the real reality of this all is that honestly, that the hidden one is a far stretch. It just simply is. It doesn't mean you still can't think it or anything like that. It's just a really far stretch. And usually cases are not far stretches. There are ones, but they're usually not. So if I was to go with my opinion today and yesterday, I think that was a very likely thing, and it could make sense to to it all. I could be totally wrong, right? We could all be totally wrong. Maybe they were abducted somehow. Have some sort of nightlife. Don't know. We don't know that part of them. We don't know that side of them. We don't know if they were into some bunch of drugs and stuff like that. We don't know that side of them. It really makes me wonder if RCMP followed up with Daphne, and they would have followed up with family members. I don't feel like she's this helpless little thing. I think she acts like she is. I don't think she's helpless. But I mean, I have a lot of Pisces friends and family. Yeah. I think she's somewhat, the Pisces are similar, very similar to a Cancer in a lot of ways. We kind of have this unrealistic, perhaps to some, unrealistic relationships about how love should be, because we deeply love and how things should be. And if it's like, if we like, my fulfillment in life, besides, like, is using my creative mind, but my true fulfillment is love, right? Like, that's the core of who I am. And because I know that in this world, that my thing that I've always searched for was just the ultimate love with somebody. Because the world goes around. Material shit comes and goes. Who gives a shit about that stuff? Material shit comes and goes, right? But it's not, when you're dead, are you going to be like, oh my God, my bed cost $3,000 and I had the best sleeps ever? Or is it going to be like the memories and stuff like that of falling in love, perhaps having children, all those things? That to me is the most important thing about being here. That you're not here to like work your ass off, get depressed, have fucking mental health issues and all that shit. Life is short. You make the best of it, the most of it, and you remember what the priorities are. And the priorities for me are that I just simply wanted to be in love, and I wanted somebody to love me back just as much, right? So that's what I have with my husband now, but he is husband number 3. Who knows? It probably won't be a husband number 4, I'll tell you that much. There might be a guy number 4, but it won't be a husband number 4. But you know what I mean? So it's one of those things is that I, like I said, love a lot. So that's what means the most to me. I think that Pisces is along that same line as well, that we have an expectation about what this love relationship should be like. And if people don't measure up sometimes, or we're very disappointed. So the core way to hurt me is hurt my heart, right? So if let's just say if my husband's being a dick, right? And I'm like, well, why are you being a dick? Yeah, because I'm sensitive, right? He's a Cancer, but I'm a sensitive ass Cancer. So it will hurt my heart to the core, because I don't search for anything else. I just search for the love of my husband, and that we have a good relationship, and that we do things that make us happy. So in saying that, that's kind of how I see more Malaya. When I look at Malaya, if I want to look at her eyes, I don't see this deceptive person. I don't. some people say the cancers are manipulative. It's not. I don't think that we're manipulative at all. Our charm and our charisma, in a sense, maybe people think about it that way, but I don't ever try to be manipulative with my intentions, even though some people might think of it that way, But I look at Malaya's eyes, and she has very soft eyes. So I actually see Malaya as actually, you know what? I see Malaya as a very actually kind soul, to be honest with you. If I was going by what I see through the eyes, I see a kind soul there. I'm not seeing this manipulated. She might get depressed. Again, people that have certain signs or love a lot and expect, and maybe if your life is second, you're going to fall into depression because everything that you've envisioned in your head isn't how it's going. You know what? You always try to believe in somebody. And honestly, just if I was to look at Daniel and Malaya, the person I would look to if I was to look at anyone would be Daniel. His eyes are saying that you're not the good person that you think you are. Malaya's face to me tells me she has very soft, warm eyes. She's that person to me that would hurt deeply, right? Again, so if you have a person that you're with and they're got insecurities, trust me, Daniel's no fucking 10, okay? I mean, fucking big ass gap between his teeth going on, when he's talking, he stumbles over himself. The guy has security issues or insecurity issues, but he's that narcissist somewhat that is kind of like when they act like they're a 10, but they're really a 2. In a sense, well, I'll give him maybe a 4 at 3. Okay, 3. But you know what I mean? And I say that just very bluntly, no hate. It's kind of when people are narcissists and they're full of themselves, but really they're just insecure little babies inside, and they have to. And that's what it all stems from. It all stems from insecurities. So if you're a full-on narcissist or not, it stems from insecurities. It's because you're not happy with who you are as a person. So you have to do things to control other people, to try to put them down so you can bring yourself up, to say how great you are and how bad you are. I don't play those games. I know those games, so I don't play them, right? Because I can see them right away. So Daniel is probably acting like he's got the Taj Mahal there of his pretty woman Malaya, and he doesn't want to lose her. Maybe there was something going on. Maybe they had an argument. Maybe something transpired that night that we don't know about at all. Maybe there was an argument about money. Who knows? Because obviously working one day a week, who the frick, 1 day a week, what's that going to do? Buy you a frickin' bar of soap. And that's, you know what I mean? Big deal. So I can totally see this portrayal of Daniel manipulating Malaya about what happened that morning, and hence why her giving him a look of disgust and bolting with Meadow. And that's why he doesn't have access to the children, is because there's something that he's being accused of. And if the family is accusing him of having something to do with the disappearance of the kids, absolutely, there's probably truth to that. So again, it was kind of like listening to Sloan Bella. Okay, well, these things make sense to this and this and this, but it is a loop to go hidden. But then when you listen to a more realistic version of what truly is more what probably happened, chances are that it was. And that's why their stories aren't aligning properly, because probably portion of it is Daniel telling her, and that's why she's not hearing the Lily come in the room. Hi, Ottawa. Happy birthday, son. Whose birthday? It's not Sunny's birthday. Mine's July 3rd. I make my orange juice. I don't even pour one in a cup. I just drink the whole damn thing. It's Kenton Citizen Sleuth's birthday. Mine's on July 3rd. 3rd. Nope. His ex hasn't spoken. Go to her Facebook. It's shut down. Okay, she ain't talking. She probably knows better. Okay, well, you probably heard Nova Scotians partying for. Not at all. Not at all. Yes, I have. Yes, I absolutely have. On there. Why can't Daniel see the other kids? Was it due to this? No, right. He can't see the other kids because it's more than just this, right? Meaning there has to be something that's against Daniel that is stopping him from having visitation rights to any of his children. So soon he'll get supervised visits. So let's put it this way. The family's accusing Daniel, right, of having something to do with it. Daniel could be totally playing us for a card and being like, yeah, their family's trying to accuse me and I just want to prove to the media and everybody else. Playing the freaking, you guys know, right? No tears, right? Could be totally, absolutely playing for fools because he's playing the game. He's not a dumbass. Close, but he's not quite. He's not a dumbass, right? But he's probably, like I said, doesn't it seem a little bit odd to you that the stepfather is acting like, to death do us part, Malaya, we never married, but God forbid that your ass is over there and these are your kids and I'm going to keep searching for them because that's my dedicated love, psychopathic love to you, Malaya, right? Don't you just think that's a little bit odd that the stepfather is almost like through hell or high water, Malaya, you're mine, girl, you're mine, and I'm just going to keep telling you, like, I'll be the old Daniel, okay? Let's just go to the waterfall again and, and that old Daniel will come back. What old Daniel? So you're a dick now, but you were nice then? So that's why you would use that statement, the old Daniel. You wouldn't use that. You wouldn't say that as if you thought, like if you were this amazing person. You would just simply leave it at, like, I'd just love to go back on the first date with you, not add that, the old Daniel. Okay, us females know that bullshit when a guy says that. It's because you ain't being the same person you were. Looks like a weed smoker. Probably absolutely is. I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. I don't see what you see in his eyes, but I do understand what you're saying. Right. Well, again, if we all agreed, Vanessa, right, this would be a boring ass world, wouldn't it? On there. But for me, I've just always been an eye person. I don't know. Depends what pictures you're looking at, perhaps. But I stared at them the other day and I was like, no, there's parts of me that go, soft a little bit, but it's either you're completely a good person or you got some little shit disturber in there. Or you're just evil. Let's see here. Sonny, remember the video of the birthday party when Lily was screaming, oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I do happen to go back to that one a little bit, of his look. Because there is weirdness about that video. Because it's kind of like Lily screaming, right? And he's kind of like, and he has this look like, and then all of a sudden she gets even louder and he's just like, and it was that. So it did come off a little strange because usually at the second point of that screaming, you would be like, Lily, stop yelling, please. And it's like he was looking around going like, shut the fuck up. Just like, fuck me. Like, that's what I felt like he was saying on the second time, like, to the first one, because my husband, he would have bolted freaking to the moon if he heard that type of screaming in his ear. He cannot stand the sound of kids screaming at all. But when she got to the second phase of screaming, it's almost like he's looking around going like, shut the fuck up. Is anyone going to tell her to shut the fuck up? And so it was amazing how long, I'm sorry, but it was amazing how long it took for an adult to tell Lily to pipe down, because I couldn't imagine ever letting a child scream as long as she did there without nobody saying, Lily, enough. Like at least a good 30 seconds before it was said to her. But yeah, so it's kind of like when I look at that video, it reminds me of like two stages. The first one where he's like, and the second part where he's like, shut the fuck up. Seriously? Like, seriously. Shut the fuck up. But yet he's not saying anything. And I'm wondering, like, why aren't you saying, like, Lily, knock it off? He was. Okay, I think I'm way far behind. Hold on. I gotta scroll down. Oh, yeah. I'm way. Oh, you guys are just. Hey, Kent. Not fooling me from day one. Kent, he's adamant. Hold on, Kent.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
It's not your birthday anymore, so late to the party, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Kent. Let's put that back up there. Hope you had a good birthday, Kent, regardless if you did anything or not. You know, we just assumed that you were powering drinks back and that you could barely, like, you know, get to the live to join us. What do we don't know if Malaya has visitation? What do you mean Malaya has the child? Malaya has the baby. CPS didn't take medal away from Malaya. So let's fact check that one. The word lettuce, as a stoner Gump says. And Canadian adult can grow 4. Yes, can too. But you guys, I'm like so freaking behind. Oh my God, Charmaine's here too. I wonder if she sent me a message in chat. I don't look at my shit. Yeah, I'll send you that in just a bit. Actually, okay, let's just to take a wind down for a second. Hold on. Share screen, manage. Okay, so as I said, tomorrow night, Charmaine and I are going to get read by Lauren, Astro by Lauren. Okay. So she's been on the channel a couple times recently. You guys know that. So we're really looking forward to that, to seeing, you know, YOLO, right? Have some fun in life. Anyway, so be very interesting because I've never had my chart ever read. I've just been to like card readers and psychic mediums and whatever. So I've never had this done. So me and Charmaine are going to do that. So I'm just going to post her link there, and that by there you can check her out yourself, you know. And then she lives in the U.S. eastern side. I always forget where she lives. Somewhere in that Alabama area or something, perhaps. Something like that. I can't remember. I'm bad at that stuff sometimes. I just know it's Eastern. Okay, 3 hours difference. Anyways, you can find our link to her website and stuff like that, or to her thing if you guys ever decide you want one done by Astro by Lauren as well. But you guys can check us out tomorrow night when we get read. Me and Charmaine get read by Lauren. And again, me and Charmaine keep it real. Lauren keeps it real. So I hope you guys can join us tomorrow night for this as well. And okay, so okay, Sunny, have a very good night as well. Okay, Adelaide. Yeah, God, that's a hard name. That's a hard name. No bullying. I'm here. No. Noelle, Vanessa, Nova Scotia here. Noelle, Vanessa. I'm not a bully. Vanessa, you know you're a bully. Yeah, I think you need to come to my school of Bullies Anonymous. Then we'll be bullies together and pick on everybody. Let's go. She's not a bully. Vanessa knows she is. She's not that Vanessa with the angel on the big A of her on the A part, right? She knows it. Let me just see if Charmaine did message me at some point. I kind of ignore my friends when I'm on a live, to be honest with you. Did she message me? Oh, wait. I'll join if you're on when I'm home. Well, Charmaine, are you home? Are you home? I'll send her a link anyway. But I said I wasn't going to be on here long. I promised myself. Sunny's tired. She was in here. Oh, she's there. She's hiding. But if she judges you, she is. Okay, so I said that to Stefa. Charmaine. Okay, I'll give her this. I'll see if she wants to come up for a very short period of time. Guess spell her name right, Kent. It's Sharmain. It's, yeah. I know, it's weird. Trust me, my stupid phone always spells it your way all the time. Okay. Thinking. You know what? Let's watch something for a minute. Let's watch this guy again. I know we've seen him 100 times, but let's go ahead and just play something right now.
Investigation now, I'd be totally surprised.
It's been almost 6 weeks since Lily.
Not a criminal investigation now, I'd be totally surprised.
It's been almost 6 weeks since Lily and Jack Sullivan were first reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station. On Wednesday, the RCMP in Nova Scotia said many RCMP units, including Major Crime, are involved in the investigation, along with the National Centre for Missing Persons. Police say they formally interviewed 54 people in their search, and this former Halifax regional police officer doesn't take that lightly.
They're out there, and the only way they're going to see or get results in this is to be out there talking to people, looking at videos, looking at topography and what have you, and so on. They're not in offices doing this by a laptop. Let's put it that way.
In an update this week, the RCMP say they've collected hundreds of hours of video from areas surrounding Lansdowne Station between April 28th and May 2nd, when the kids went missing, and have received nearly 500 tips from the public. Police say they've searched every aspect of the family's home and received authorization to seize and examine devices.
They'll go on the balance of probabilities based on the area that we fully searched with a lot of people. We can't find any evidence, be it a backpack, a shoe, or whatever. We can't find the kids. If you can't find them, somebody has to say enough is enough right now for searching those areas. So now we move to where? There's only one other option. A nefarious take to this. In other words, a criminal type thing. That's only my personal opinion.
Police say they've used polygraph tests in some interviews. This former polygraph examiner south of the border says the test is used to monitor how a person's nervous system responds to certain questions.
If somebody is successful in the test, then not that they're being eliminated, but they'll spend more time on people that are not successful. Not passing the test doesn't mean you're guilty or you're involved. It simply means that there's some issue there, maybe some knowledge, guilty knowledge.
Moriello says he's seen people pass tests who were later proven guilty. More than 160 search and rescue volunteers have scoured through the densely wooded area surrounding the children's home, but only a small boot print was found. Police continue to refer to the case as a missing persons investigation.
They're covering it all, everything they can. And you only do that in depth when there's a criminal investigation with major crime on scene. They're not there just because they're major crime. They're there to do their major crime work.
Mitchell Bailey, Global News.
Right. You know, that's just it. It's exactly how I see it. Major crime unit is there. This is a crime. This isn't they're in the woods. This is a crime. And my thing is this too, right? Daniel claims 20 minutes, right? Where the heck are two kids going to go in 20 minutes time? Where are they going to go in 20 minutes time? Now, one could believe Charmaine's theory that they were abducted by children or by somebody. Still not my way, and Charmaine's not on here to defend herself. Go me. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's just a bunch of hogwash bullshit. But I am curious. Though, is if there is some truth. Said Daniel was gone a lot longer than he has said. Now, again, he might be hanging himself to dry, even though it'd be pretty stupid to hang yourself to dry that badly on national TV. But again, you know, look at Chris Watts and all that, right? Just standing there blatantly, staring in front of a camera, lying right to the faces. I see, you know, do you guys ever watch EWU? You know, those interrogations? I watch those like a lot all the time. And you'll sit there and watch him and the person's like just swearing on their life even. I didn't have nothing to do with it. Why are you accusing me? Blah, blah, blah. You know, these things are typically about a good hour and 40 minutes long. These interrogation parts that they're showing you. By the end of it, they're bawling like little bitches. You know, well, I did it because whatever, right? And the whole time, but they sit there and they try to look convincing, try to sound convincing, but they had no part of it. You know, again, not saying that Daniel did, not saying that Malaya did, but I still think myself, regardless, it's still my opinion that this is family involvement for sure, and that the story is too much of a hogwash. And when I say that, it's because if it smells like shit, right, stinks like shit, must be shit. My grandma always said, if it doesn't sound right to the ear, it's because it's not the truth. And that's how I see this, is that between Malaya and Daniel, it's inconsistent, you know, but the inconsistencies could be happening for, well, a couple reasons, you know. I just don't think that they're both in on it together. That I don't see, because you do not see two people break apart like how this happened, right? Especially the next day. That's just unheard of. That literally, if two people were involved in the disappearance of Jack and Lily, and this one leaves, you know, Daniel can't see his kids and all that stuff. Okay. If two people conspired, that's not happening. That is not happening in nobody's reality. It just doesn't happen that way. So that's why I don't feel it's both together. Again, Daniel could have told Malaya, you know, a few things, because maybe she was out sleeping more than really what it was, right? Or Daniel, like I said, you can't tell me as a mother that I'm going to be in the bed with the husband and Lily's going to come in and out twice. I'd have to be pretty damn ass comatose to that. But she was already awake, right? Apparently by whatever, she was texting the school. It could have been Daniel for all we know. Could have been. But anyways, as far as we know, we'll just take it as Malaya. If she's texting or whatever, her mom arrives not too long after that. Chances are Malaya texts her mom, right? It's not that her mom was already in the area so much, which it could be looked at that way. But I'm more apt to believe myself the other scenario, and that Malaya probably felt like something was off. And that's why she ended up getting in touch with her mom, and her mom, you know, headed on down there. That's why a big argument ended up ensuing as well, like the next day, because they're blaming Daniel. Why are they blaming Daniel? It's not because Daniel wasn't doing his duty of watching over Lily and Jack and that, okay? It seemed like it for a while there. But in all honesty, chances are they're blaming Jack and saying that he had something to do with it, because that's truly what they feel. It's probably what Malaya felt that it happened, because her interview is so uncomfortable that it just comes off as lies, right? And then the next day she's gone. So there is an answer for that, and there is a logical answer. We are all speculating. Who's being nasty? You talking to me? You talking to me on that one? But you don't got to be so nasty either. I just want to know if you're talking to me. But he told me to get out of here. Oh. No, somebody in chat. Okay, well, just you guys all kumbaya, hugs. We're here for the kids. We're not here to battle over each other's thoughts and opinions. Okay, I'm not going to go back and re-chat. We're all grown asses up adults. No, Vanessa, you stay. You always have to go to. Everyone's in. So we'll make that clear again, right? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. There's no need to insult anyone and stuff like that, right? You can agree to disagree, and you don't even have to respond. And if you don't like something that somebody is saying. It's called the block button. All you need to do is block them so you don't see their messages. Okay? But we're here for Jack and Lily. You know, first and foremost, we're not here for squabbling. We're just here to have adult conversations. Simple as that. Okay, guys? But both kids were already gone after then. That's after Daniel gets back. What can you say? But at the beginning, you said if you're going to blame one, you got to blame. Well, no. Yes, I know exactly what I said. Right. It's because at the beginning of this, and this is like I'm saying, my head spins. It's because if I was going to believe Daniel, right? If I was going to believe Daniel, but I didn't believe Malaya, then it's either I believe them both or don't believe any of them is what I said. Right. Absolutely did say that. But because after this case has gone on, right, I'm seeing it obviously in a different angle than when I first said that. Because now that I see that like okay, that was probably before the messages had come out more so, even so, or maybe around, but you know, the messages in themselves and seeing the text from Belinda, those are recent. So I'm not going to hold myself to always, you might hold yourself to the same story that you believe in from day one, Kent. But again, and typically that's my way, but I change as the information changes. So if the information changes, then obviously I have more insight, right? So then I'm going to draw a different conclusion. So at this point, I draw a different conclusion because we got to see messages from Daniel and messages from Malaya. So, you know, like I said, at first, you just think, okay, well, they're both lying. Someone's lying, right? It just seems so odd because you're trying to just understand the case. 50 feet riverboat flying by the time because the kids were already gone. Daniel was coming back and getting in bed were her to kill time until it was time to call. 50 riverboat flying. Okay, you need to speak English, boy. I don't understand any of that. I don't understand any of that, what you said. What boat flying by? I feel like the whole story they told us is to throw cops. Yeah, you know what? I don't. I'm usually not thinking that it's purposely trying to get us all freaking confused and whatever. I mean, they're lying. I think that's what's confusing us. But I don't think that they're purposely like trying to throw us for a head spin this way and that way and this way. I don't see that. You can see it, but I don't see it. Kent said her piece for us. So that's that. Let's move on. Sunny, I can't set her piece. Yeah, still haven't really been paying attention to what's going on there, to be honest. Just play nice. Anyway, I think Nova Scotia has some useful information they can share. What was Daniel like growing up? Anger issues, get in fights. Seems like one. Well, that's the thing, right? Where are we going to find out that information, though? Where are we going to get that information? Don't know. Well, because, you know, there should be something coming out next week. That's really going to probably put you for a tailspin, to be honest with you, with this case. Don't want to say it. I just don't want to say it because I didn't ask if I could say it. But it's definitely one of those things that you're going to be like, huh, like, how far are they with this investigation? Yeah, thank you. Hearsay, I think. But anyways, no, I'll have to ask Belinda. But I haven't spoken to her today, to be honest with you. I didn't even think I was doing a live today. You know, okay, so I'm at the 2-hour mark. It's almost 9 o'clock. I actually am gonna call it a night now, guys, because I didn't even plan on staying on here for like an hour and a half at best. an hour, even just a little over an hour on there. Again, me and Charmaine, we're going to Lauren's going to come on and join us to do our charts for us. So if you guys are interested in that, then please come join us tomorrow. You know what? So yeah, we'll just see how that live goes. See if, you know, how much Jack and Lily case partakes in that. If there's any news that comes out with regards to Jack and Lily for tomorrow and stuff like that, obviously we're going to cover that as well. Either of them could make, you know, the thing is though, you know, sometimes the dumbest people, it's almost like sometimes the dumbest people somehow manage to get away with shit. Why? Let's just take this. Barry Morphew, for instance, Suzanne Morphew's case. Barry Morphew listened to true crime pods, and he knew the area around his home well. Why? Because he was a hunter, and so he knew the woods. So just imagine that if Daniel grew up in that place, hypothetically, allegedly, and knows the woods like the back of his hand, that area. Okay? You guys might picture him as like a dumbass, but I don't think of him as a dumbass. But he might know if he did something to the children, hypothetically, allegedly, if he did something to the children, he's smart enough. He knows those woods, right? He knows that stuff. You never know about people, though. Like the guy I knew that killed his wife, I never would have thought him as capable of that. Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, the thing about true crime is that there's so many different things that happen in true crime. Things like the Vallow case, right? Extreme craziness. Thanks, DD Canada. But extreme craziness. Like, that's what you call fiction. Total, like, way out of this world shit, right? And then there's a lot of cases that fall down the typical, you know, normal path. Sticking kids in suitcases, hiding them, get rid of them, putting them in trash bags, throwing kids into garbage bins, okay? That typical normal stuff. But then you see these cases where, you know, I can't think of the name of the mom and the dentist there, where they contrived to kill her ex off or whatever, and the grandmom's, whatever her name is in jail. They were trying to take off to freaking Taekwondo over there. And you're like, really? Yeah, he actually thought you were going to get away with this shit? And so you hear dentists and doctors and, you know, doing the thing, people that you never would suspect to ever do something like this. You know? And a lot of them are just most dumbasses. Like, in this case, there's going to be an answer to this case. And it will happen. But it's just going to take some time, obviously. You know? And I think that next week, I think that you'll realize this is not going to be just as easy as pie, for sure. That this is going to take people bringing forth information to help with this case. You know, because they might have a gist of stuff, but one, there's no bodies anywhere that we know of yet. Could, right? Could. Like, the RCMP are definitely on this. But again, just like anyone, they have to sift through the bullshit and the truth and figure it out. Anyways, you guys, tomorrow night, 6:30, me and Charmaine will be getting read by Lauren from Astro by Lauren. Again, go check out her channel there. She's got some of your StreamYards. Don't want that one. Delete. Let me just pull up that link again here. Okay. Hi, the pond. Has anyone noticed the visible injuries on Jack in his school photo? He has a split lip injury on his chin and bruise on his forehead. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that. I know which picture you're talking about there. But again, it's hard because, you know, kids are kids and they're rambunctious and play and stuff like that, you know. So I don't know. I don't look too deep into it on certain things, but you know, all we can do is just keep on looking at the information that's before us and keep the awareness, you know, hopefully pray that justice comes for Jack and Lily. You know, I can see it already happening, by the way, that a lot of the bigger channels aren't really covering this case too much anymore. They'll cover it, don't get me wrong. They'll cover it when they hear news about it, okay? When there's some breaking news about it. Other than that, you can see it slowly deteriorating like a typical case does when there's not very much news. Like there's still some good, you know, like the decent amount of people still covering it, but trust me, it's dwindling. It's dwindling. So just please do your part for everyone that really does care about this case. Just hit that like and the share button, okay, guys? All right. So, anyways, Sharon, thank you guys, everybody. You guys have yourself a great night. Thank you for being here. And other than that, we'll see you tomorrow night at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Okay, guys?